Alright, well, we shall get started. Stacey, good to see you in. Alright, so, good morning, welcome to Lanserhof Instagram live classes again this Thursday morning, and we are doing some mat Pilates. Hopefully you're taking part in a couple of classes already this week. You might have done the resistance band class yesterday or the mat Pilates on Tuesday. If you are, you might be feeling it a little bit. Hopefully you are still training to a good amount, staying strong, and again we're going to challenge you through today's class. As always, please through the video leave any messages, any comments about anything. If you need alternate ones, if you have any injuries, aches, pains or anything like that, please do let me know and I'll always try and give you some different options if necessary. Have fun, enjoy the sunshine whilst you do this, and I promise you'll feel better when we're done. Okay, so we are going to start with some walkouts. Again, this is how we like to start our classes. Again, get into a good position and start to just get moving from there, okay? And again, if you've got tight hamstrings, so if you did the class yesterday and you feel them from your deadlift, your range might be a bit limited, but that's why it's really important to go through these movements, okay? So feet a little bit apart, take a deep breath in, reach the arms up, really feel your lungs. Soften the knees just a little, bring the hands down to the floor and walk out one hand at a time, all the way out into a press up position. We just hold. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, bring the hands back. Push the hips right up high, stand up nice and tall. We're going to do that twice more. Big deep breath in. As we breathe out, bring the hands down and walk out into a press up position. Again, we pause, take a deep breath in. And breathe out, push the hips up, walk the hands in and stand all the way up. Last time, take a deep breath in. Breathe out as you bring your hands down to the floor. Walk out into a press up position. Pause, deep breath in. Breathe out. And come all the way back up. Again, arms up, deep breath in. And breathe out. From here we're going to go into a hip flexor stretch. So we're just going to take a lunge position. So however you want to get to that position. One leg forward, one leg back. Let the knee touch down. Front leg, the knee is above the ankle. So in this case, left leg is gone forward. Lean into it, so lean forward from your hips. Your chest comes towards your left knee. And just push your hips forward, squeeze into your glute. So you should feel a stretch into the front of your right hip as you hold that position. We hold for a few seconds and we're going to rock back into a hamstring stretch from here. So what we're going to do is just gently set our weight back onto the toes of the back foot. Pull the toes of the front foot up towards you until we feel a little bit of tension into the back of our left leg. Now again, if you feel comfortable into this, you can reach for your toes. Don't let yourself get into a bad position. Keep your chest up. Lean into it until you feel a hamstring stretch. 3, 2, 1. And then again, just rocking back, forward, squeezing that glute, stretching into that right hip flexor. 3, 2, 1. And again, we're just going to sit all the way back, getting that stretch into the hamstring. Again, a little reach if you feel that you want to get a little bit more tension into that movement. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do it one more time into that hip flexor stretch position and hold there. Okay, this time what we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands down level with our feet, and we're going to take our left hand. So if your left foot forward, you're going to take your left hand and reach it up for the ceiling. Look at your fingertips, rotate as much as you can through the chest. Feel the stretch as you hold. 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Bring the hand back down. Take the leg back and switch to the other side. So this time the right foot comes forward. Into that same lunge stretch, so just lean forward, squeezing the glute, pushing forward. So you feel the stretch into the front of the left hip this time as you hold the position. 3, 2, 1, and then just rock back. Again, sitting back into it, pulling the toes up until we feel a bit of tension into the back leg. Again, if you want to reach forward into the stretch, that's entirely up to you. But as long as you feel hamstring tension, I am happy. 3, 2, 1. And again, we're just going to come forward, squeeze the glute, feel the stretch into the front of the left hip. Use your glutes to drive forward. Lean your chest forward over that right leg. And again, we're just going to rock back, pulling the toes up. Getting that stretch into the back of the leg. Again, really feel the tension if you're tight there. Some people might have started running quite a lot in this lockdown process. You'll definitely start to feel some hamstring tension if that's the case. One more time, we come forward into that hip flexor stretch and hold. And one more time, we're going to come back into that hamstring stretch. Again, just rocking back into it and pulling the toes up so you can feel that stretch into your hamstring. Good. One more time, come forward. Hands down outside your feet. This time it's the right hand that lifts up and rotates. Turn through the chest, keep your eye line at your fingertip. The more you rotate, the more you're going to stretch on the outside of your hip and also a little bit into the side of your torso. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hand down, take the foot back. You're going to stay on your hands and knees and we're going to go into a cat-cow stretch now. Okay, so we're going to work on curving and using the muscles of our back and our core to move our spine. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to start from the bottom of our spine. So we're going to think about pulling our belly button up towards the ceiling. Tuck the hips, squeeze your glutes. We're going to work on that a little bit more, that pelvic tilt shortly. And try and lift up through your ribcage. Pull it away from the floor. And as you begin to pull it away, shoulders start to jet down towards the floor. Chin tucks right in. So you're pulling up as hard as you can. You tuck the head down. And then we reverse. We start with the shoulders and head. Shoulders relax, head starts to lift. Top of the back, we start to push the collarbones forward. As we start to push the collarbones forward, the rib cage follows. Head down, look straight ahead as we dip through the rib cage. Try and create as much dip through the spine as we can. And then we reverse back the other way again, starting from the hips to create that pelvic tilt. Squeeze your glutes and abs. Pull up through the abs. Pull up through the rib cage. Shoulders drop, chin tucks in. Pull up, extend up through your back as much as you can. And then we reverse again. Shoulders relax, head starts to come up. Collarbones start to push down towards the floor. Start to drop the rib cage. Let the hips roll and tilt forward as the head starts to look straight ahead. Good. One more time on each. Tilt the hips. Squeeze your glutes and abs. Pull up through the rib cage. Allow the chin to tuck in as you pull up. Extend through your spine as much as you can. And then one last time. Tuck the shoulders away from the ears. Head starts to lift up. Collarbones start to push down. Rib cage starts to push down. Lift the head up. Create as much curve into your spine as you can. And relax. From there we're going to go into a child's pose stretch. So heels together. Let your knees go wide into a V shape. Let your head drop down, your chest drop down, and just reach the arms forward into a stretch. And just hang into that position. And just enjoy that position. Enjoy that stretch for just a second. Another 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come back up onto our hands and knees. We're going to go into a thread the needle now. Rotation is really important. And again, I want to make sure that we keep some movement through the side of our body. So we're going to thread the needle. What that means you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand from this 4-point kneeling position and just turn it over so the knuckles are on the ground, okay? Now if you've got quite a sticky mat or a carpet you're doing this, might be a bit of a challenge. You might have to just hover the arm. But all you're going to do is reach the arm away and just letting the fingertips just gently touch and keep pushing. Keep going, keep extending all the way until the shoulder touches down. And then let it come back. So you're almost just letting the fingertips drive away along the floor. And as you do that, try and extend as much as you can without letting your hip position change. Torso might drop down, that's okay. And you're going to feel that stretch into the side of the torso or into the side of your hip. Good. One last time. Really reaching it away. Good. Alright, same again onto the other side now. So the left hand comes up. Fingertips, again, just gently touching the ground if they aren't going to slide along your floor. Keep going, keep reaching all the way until that shoulder touches the ground. And then slowly coming back in. Same again, reaching along, letting the knuckles gently touch the ground. Keep extending into a really good stretch. And coming back again. Third time, try and reach into it. Really push into a stretch. Really enjoy that movement into the side of the body. Good. 2 more. Reaching into it. Really enjoy the stretch. Good. 1 more time. Yeah, nice work. We're going to keep working and warming up through these rotating muscles into the side of your body. So we're going to go into a set of pendulums from here. So again, we're going to rotate through the body. So we start that, lying down flat on your back, hands out wide, just palms flat, just to push into the ground to give you a bit of pressure to maintain your position. Knees and feet together, we're just going to let both knees drop down to one side, and then over to the other side. Just resting there, just for a split second, before we switch and go over to the other side. Now as you rock from side to side, if you're pretty comfortable, pretty good for your core, you want a bit more challenge for those muscles in the side of your body, you want them to work a little bit harder through this warm-up, you can do this by simply taking your legs up into a tabletop position and then doing the same thing. Keep your shoulders down, don't let them lift, go as far as you can, pause, come back, and then just gently coming over to the other side through that stretch. If you find that's too much of a challenge, you feel like that loads into your lower back a little bit, then keep the feet down. Again, we're not into this really, really hard work yet, we're just trying to really start to work on these rotator muscles. Okay, we're going to keep going for about another 30 seconds. Keep trying to push the hands down into the floor. That's going to help you get that gentle rotation. Okay, last final bit of our warm-up is to really make sure that we're getting our core muscles working, because this is Pilates and that's just a very, very important part of what we're going to do. So, flatten your back, pelvic tilts. We've done this in each class so far, and we're going to continue to do it because people sometimes just don't get this right, and everyone needs to get this right, okay? So we're going to keep doing it until you guys feel perfect at it, okay? Hands by your side, nice and relaxed. Feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart, just so your feet are flat, comfortable, knees pointing up at the ceiling. With pelvic tilting, we're thinking about our rib cage pulling down, our belly button pulling down, by engaging through our abdominals. That's going to create a tilt of our hips, and you can feel your hips as you do that. You should be able to feel your hips tilt. You should be able to feel them start to move. Encourage that movement by squeezing your glutes, clenching them, and starting to lift your hips 1 inch off the floor and back down. If you've got your hands on your hips, you should be able to feel this tilting motion, this rolling from front to back. And that's what I want you to really, really focus on getting. I've taught Pilates now for a long, long time. I feel very, very comfortable with a pelvic tilt. You guys might not have been able to do this for a long time. You might not be able to know how to create that connection through your mind, through your brain, and through that connection to your muscles. So practice this. Anytime you're lying down, can you think about creating a little bit of a tilt? Can you think about getting as much movement? Sometimes people find it's easy actually to go the other way and really exaggerate the arch in your back, to feel the hips tilt forward, to then feel the hips tilt back the other way. If you have to get that motion, that's okay. But ultimately, I want you to squeeze your glutes and abs to lift your backside 1 inch without your back lifting off the reformer. So you're creating tilt, you're creating glute squeeze. You should be able to feel it. You've got a resistance band, you can always pop that around your knees. We talked about that in the resistance band class yesterday, about how that can add more what we call external rotation. That is more challenge for your glutes. I'm not too worried about that yet. I really want you to start to think about getting this tilt and this roll for now. As you feel comfortable now, you can start to lift up a little bit further. Each repetition is you just lifting up and driving and squeezing into your glutes, and you're pushing through your feet to lift a little bit further. But again, focus on starting that motion with that tilt. You're not going to lift your back like a plank of wood. You're going to roll through it like a sticker being peeled off a page. It just rolls up and back down. After the next 5 or 6 repetitions, I want you to start to think about being right up as high as you can, really focusing on getting as much drive and squeeze through your glutes as you can. When you're at the top, if you're not sure if they're working, so again, be hands-on, feel your glute muscles. You should be able to feel them engaging. Same for your abdominals. If you're not sure, always check. Good. 3 more. Really pushing up towards that maximum range now. Good. We're going to go for 1 more time. You're going to get to the top and you're going to hold. Create that tilt. Squeeze your glutes and abs and drive up. Hold at the top. Bring your hands across your chest. From there, let your hips drop down 1 inch. Squeeze your glutes, come back up 1 inch. Relax down and squeeze. Relax and squeeze. So we're just creating a little pulse of relaxing and engaging our glutes. Feel the work. Put the hands on them if you want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Hug the knees in, give them a good squeeze, and a little rock side to side. So we're going to start the first bit of ab work we do with what we call ab prep. Okay, and this is going to be a deep pelvic floor activation. Grab a quick drink if you need to. And then when you're ready, I want you again lying down flat onto your back, okay? So what we're going to do with this is what we've done before. We're going to talk about that breathing out. If you've done the class before, you might have found it a little bit tough. You might understand how it is, how it kind of works. But ultimately, when you create this feeling of really, really expelling the air from your lungs, when you create a little cough at the end, that forces deeper pelvic floor activation. And that's really, really key. There are only two ways to get that to go. One of them is by coughing, and one of them is by throwing up. We're not going to make you throw up in this class, but we're going to really get you into that point where you create a little cough really, really far up into those deep pelvic floor muscles, okay? So, you might feel a bit awkward, might feel a bit random to do so, but go with it. You should be able to feel your abs work even harder because of it, okay? So, flat on your back, same position we just had. Knees bent, feet flat, hands by your side. This time you're going to reach as if you're going to try and touch your toes. That's the motion, but your breathing is important. Whilst you're lying down, fill your lungs. Big deep breath. And then as we breathe out, we reach for our toes, but we don't tuck our chin to our chest. We try and lift through our abs. We pull down for abs. Think about that pelvic tilt motion we just did. And we breathe out. All your air. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Keep going, keep going. At the end, you'll create a little cough and then relax back down. Take a deep breath in. Same again, reach for your feet, pull up through the abs, head and chest, don't drop down. Keep the height, keep going, keep breathing out. And relax back down. Good, we're going to keep going with this. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Try and lift the head and chest a little bit further. See if you can start to feel a little ab shake as you breathe out. Breathe out. And back down. Good. Deep breath in. And again. Good. 3 more. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Lift the head and chest a little more. Good. 2 more. Deep breath in. Breathe out. Keep breathing. Keep going all the way until you expel all the air from your lungs. Good. 1 more time. Deep breath in. Breathe out. Keep reaching for those toes. Lift up through the chest. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. And relax. Nice work. Hug the knees in. Again, just take a little rock from side to side. Just enjoy that relaxing stretch. Okay. So, now we've got the abs really prepped. Now we challenge them with a series of leg drops. Okay. So that's going to be legs up into a tabletop position. And from there, think about that pelvic tilt, squeeze your glutes and your abs. Don't allow your back to arch, do the opposite. Pull the back flat, breathe in, take one leg down, breathe out, lift it back up. Breathe in, one leg down, breathe out, lift it back up. Good. I'm going to give you a couple of options to challenge this a little bit more this time. Some of you mentioned before this wasn't too bad. Keep controlling this and let your breathing dictate your rhythm. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your hands can be either on your hips to feel the hips, make sure they're not tilting. Underneath your lower back, make sure your back isn't arching or feeling the abs. Whatever works best for you, whatever gives you the most feedback, that's exactly what I want you to do. We want a challenge from here. we're going to go with both legs into the movement, okay? Don't straighten them. That's going to put a lot of tension into your lower back by adding too long a lever. So keep that bent knee position as we come down and back up. You don't have to touch the floor if you don't have all that range, but try and think about using your abs, flattening your back, getting as much range as you can so you feel your upper abs working. If still you're feeling strong, you want more of a challenge, we take what we call a slight ab prep position, so a crunch position to some degree, and that's not pulling your head forward. What we're going to do is put the hands behind your head and keep the elbows out of your peripheral vision, okay? If you can see your elbows, you're cheating. Support your head, legs into tabletop, and see if we can then control either with single legs or even with that double leg motion and bringing down. That's going to make it harder. You're going to have to focus on keeping that tilt whilst you create that movement with your legs. If you lose that, if your back arches, go back a regression, go back to a simpler version, get really good at it, then move on through the progressions. Don't get to a point where you feel any tension into your back or anything like that. We're here for another 15 seconds or so. Control with your breathing. If you need to take a break, take a break. Even holding up into that tabletop position should make your abs engage. So even just holding there for your break can help. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Relax. Again, hug your knees in. Give them a good squeeze, little rock side to side. Abs should have started to work over those last 2 exercises, I hope. And again, you are going to do another leg drop variation a little bit later on. Before we go anywhere now, we're going to start thinking about using the top half of your body, because again, Pilates is a lot about using your glutes and your legs and your abs, but we want to think about keeping the top half strong as well. If you did the resistance band class yesterday, we've done lots of rows and some retraction work, and we're going to do some basic versions that you can do here in mat work Pilates with just your body weight as well. So we're going to do a retraction to start with, okay? So that means you're just going to be kneeling, toes curled under, just to give you something to give you a supporting bit of balance. Think about the movement we just did, that ab squeeze, that engagement. Your hands are by your side. You're going to let your arms just relax, okay? From here, we're going to squeeze between our shoulder blades. You're just going to pull between your shoulder blades and let the hands move nice and freely. So again, you're not controlling the arms, they're just hanging. All you're trying to do is squeeze right in the middle of your back. You're trying to create that contraction between your shoulder blades with the muscles in your back. Now again, a bit like the pelvic tilts, if you're really, really comfortable with this movement, you're going to find it nice and easy. And if you're not great at it, it's going to take some practice. You're not going to get your arms to move wildly in distance here. It's literally going to be from just the front of your hips to the back of your hips. But you're just creating that motion by opening up through your chest. Almost feel as if your shoulders are going out towards the back corners of the room. Still try and maintain that ab squeeze as you do it, but see if you can feel that squeeze in the middle of your back. Little pause if you feel a good squeeze. Hold it there for a second. We can start to add more muscles into the shoulder into this movement by adding what we call a dumb waiter movement. So same feeling in the middle of your back, but elbows bend, palms are up. From there we turn the hands wide. Again, try and keep the rib cage down, squeeze into your ab, and move your shoulder blades back and together. Keep those elbows close to the body as we turn out. Feel that movement stretching a little bit to the top of our abs to stabilize, but mainly in the middle of our back. We want to feel that squeeze between our shoulder blades. This is your second option. And again, you might feel again some of those muscles in the shoulder work as you do it. Third option is what we call a chest fly, and that's to have your hands in front, slight bend in your elbow. We breathe in, we open wide, we squeeze between our shoulder blades, and breathe out. Breathe in, squeeze, and breathe out. Just controlling through this motion, trying to feel that squeeze in the middle of our back. Okay, I need to have a little practice on all 3 of those movements for a few reps for me. Find which one works best for you. And again, that's really individual. I can't tell you which one's going to be best for you, but one of those 3 movements is going to help you feel that movement in the middle of your back the most, okay? Don't worry about which one's the hardest. The second part of this exercise is going to be the hard work for it. This bit's about making sure those muscles are really working. So if the retractions, or the dumb waiters, or the flies, whichever one gets you that better feeling in the middle of your back, That's the one I want you to remember, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to do a set of those and a set of push-ups. We're going to do 3 sets of each, okay? So by the end of that time, that movement for a push-up of lowering yourself down and using the middle of your back is going to be exactly what we do, okay? So whichever exercise you choose, we are going to do that retraction, okay? So I'm going to use just standard retractions. I find that's great for me. Good ab squeeze, and we're just pulling between our shoulder blades and back. We're going to do 8 of these, okay? So from the front of the hips to the back of the hips for me. If you're doing that dumb waiter, make sure your rib cage doesn't pop up. If you're doing that fly, try and just relax the arms as much as you can. Feel the work in the middle of your back. Good, that's 5 reps down, 3 to go. 2 more. 1 more. Good, lovely work. From there, we're going to go into a push-up. Now, we're going to start with kneeling push-ups, okay? Because I want you to really, really learn about why we're doing it in this order, okay? The exercise you've just done, we are going to add to a push-up, okay? So when you're in that position, so take a half plank and do it kneeling to start with. If you want to work onto a fuller version later on, we can. What I want you to think about doing, as you lower your chest to the ground, you're not just hunching your shoulders, losing your position. You're thinking about that squeeze in the middle of your back. So can you now lower yourself down towards the ground, squeeze in the middle of the back, feel that retraction in the middle of your back before pushing back up towards the ceiling. Same again. Control down, keep that ab squeeze, don't let your lower back arch. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. Push back up. You should feel a stretch across your chest as you get down towards the bottom of the push-up. Let's try and keep a bit of tempo now. So we come down, we pause, we come back up. Rest for a second and go again. Down, squeeze between your shoulder blades and back up. Keep going. If push-ups are really difficult for your arms, the only way to get better at them is to do more of them. So keep going. Good, we've got time for 1 more. Good, lovely work. Shake the arms out a little bit. And now we go back into your retraction exercise. So again, hands by your side, whether it's the retractions, the dumb weighted or the flies, whichever one you choose, feel it into the middle of your back, okay? So squeeze in between your shoulder blades and let the hands move forward. Squeeze and engage your abs still. Couple more repetitions, really feel that stretch across your chest, feel the movement in the middle of your back. Good, lovely work. Alright, so back into your second set of push-ups. Now again, if you felt comfortable with the first one on your knees, you want to go into full push-ups, you can, but I really want you to feel that movement in the middle of your back. So if you have to stay kneeling for that, that's okay. As we continue with that push-up, technically, I want to make sure you're perfect as well. So we're going to think about the elbows not going out to the side of the room. Think about them pointing diagonally behind you. And you're lowering your chest down. Don't do this. I don't want to see anyone's bum stuck in the air. Allow your weight to come forward. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. Push back up. Should be your nose that almost gets down towards the ground. Your chest comes with it. Little pause at the top before we keep going. Get that squeeze in the middle of your back. 3 more. Still think about how we use our abs as well. Can create that little pelvic tilt before we drop down. Don't arch into your lower back. 1 more time. Good, lovely work. 2 sets down. We're going to do a third and final set. So now we're thinking again back about those retractions. So again, whichever one you feel best on, squeeze between your shoulder blades. As you do each set, you should now become better. You should be getting more set at using your pectoral muscles as we lower into that push-up. As we get better set with that motion, we should be able to squeeze better through the middle of our back. Good. 2 more. 1 more time. Good, lovely work. 1 more set of push-ups. Again, if you want to go into full push-ups, you can. For now, I think for a lot of people, making sure technically you're perfect is more important. So if that's the case, stay down in the kneeling push-up. Make sure you feel the squeeze in between your shoulder blades as you get to the bottom. Keep that ab squeeze as you go down. Don't lose that little pelvic tilt. One more time. Lovely work. We're going to drop back into a child's pose stretch here. Again, make sure you're taking no tension through your back on those push-ups. So again, heels together, knees wide, and just walk the hands away, allowing your head and chest to come down to the ground, and enjoy that stretch. Good, lovely stuff. Grab yourself a quick drink, take a few seconds, and we're going to keep working, this time a little bit more through the core. Everyone doing okay? I hope so. Everyone having fun, I'm sure. Okay, so we're going to look a little bit now about how, again, we continue to use these stabilizing muscles in our body, but also start to use our abs. So we're going to do some plank variations, okay? In this case, we're going to do some side plank variations, okay? So 3 different variations. Kind of important bit about this is that we're thinking about how we stabilize to start, and then we add rotation once we're nice and stable, okay? So, side plank. Elbow and shoulder, nice vertical line. What I never want to see is that shoulder away. That's going to give you tension into your neck and shoulder. We don't want that, okay? Keep that little squeeze under your armpit so the shoulder doesn't hunch. I would always go feet stacked or top foot just in front of the other, wherever again you feel comfortable. Top hand is going to be on your hip. All I want you to do is push through the top foot, push through the arm, and hold up into a side plank. Hand onto your side. Think about lifting away. What I don't want to see is this kind of drop and droop position. I want you to lift up as high as you can, chest up, try and keep your eye line straight ahead. And we're just going to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly back down. Nice and easy, right? Yeah, I'm sure it was. You guys are strong. So, we're going to do that again. We're going to do quite a few different variations as we stay through this movement, okay? So, same again, another static hold. Hand onto your hip, push through the feet, squeeze and drive up. Hold that position, lift away from the floor. Feel these muscles into the side of your back working. Top arm comes up if you feel strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, we come back down. Good stuff. Be careful as you're here. Again, make sure that arm doesn't lift up and get any tension into your shoulder. If it does, or you feel anything like that, just shake it out. Take a few seconds and go again. Try and keep the squeeze under your armpit so we don't get into that position where we hunch through the shoulder, okay? Good. We're going to do a third time, just in this static position. Again, feet stacked or top leg just in front. Push through the feet and the arm. Really squeeze under the armpit. Hand up or hand on the hip. Wherever's comfortable. Lift away. Eye line straight ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Good. So that's a nice simple variation, okay? We're going to add a couple of different variations. If the variants are a little bit too tough for you, don't worry about them. Stay with this one and keep doing that position holding for 10 seconds, okay? So the variation we're going to add is to add rotation, okay? So we did that thread the needle motion, we did those rock from side to side, and that's why we did it, so we can be good here, okay? So same half plank position onto that right arm. Push through the hips and lift up, the top arm up. From there, what we're going to do is going to reach that arm underneath and push the hips up as we reach underneath. Bring the arm back up. As we reach the arm under, push the hips up. And again. Reach underneath, really extend. And back. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Good. Lovely stuff. And again, you want to keep a little bit of pace with this. You want to bounce from side to side. But up, hold, down, hold. Up, hold, and down, hold again. Okay, take a few deep breaths and we're going to do it again. Try and make sure you're pushing the hips up just a fraction as you reach underneath. That's going to help you work through your obliques a little bit more, give a little bit more range to challenge that position. All right. Arm down. This is going to be set number 4. Sorry, set number 5. We are going to do 8 in total, okay? So, reach the arm up. And we reach under. Push the hips up. And back. And number 5. Good, lovely stuff. If you're finding it a challenge to hold that half plank position with the feet, do the same, but just do from the knees. So you're in a kneeling half plank and you create that same motion. Again, still pausing, still trying to keep the knees nice and still, so you're turning through your body. Again, always comment if you need a few variations, if anything doesn't feel quite right, let me know, I'll happily give you some different variants. Okay, gonna do that one more time, before we change over and do the same on the other side, and then we'll show you the last 2 variants at the very, very end. So again, 1 foot in front of the other, forearm down, squeeze through the abs, lift up, top arm up, 5 repetitions for me, reach under, push the hips up a little, and back. 3, 4, and 5. Good, lovely work. Just for a good stretch through the side of your body, we'll work through those obliques. So you can stand up and go into a stretch before we do anything else. Shake the legs out. Again, we've been lying down for a little bit. Let the fingers reach up. Take a lean from side to side. Maybe swing the arms out, especially that right arm if you can tuck down. You put a bit of weight into it. Shake it out just a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to do the same onto the other side. I did buy a new mat. This is much more comfortable. The other one wasn't very good. It was like doing it on a bed of nails. So this one's pretty good. Oh, it's from Sports Direct, and I feel quite bad about ordering it from Sports Direct, but needs must at these times, right? Okay, so again, we're going to go back into that side plank. We're just going to hold a static side plank for 5 seconds, okay? Really key, again, if you don't want to go onto your feet, you can do this from your knees. Shoulder is above the elbow. Elbow is never away from the shoulder. Top leg is just in front of the bottom leg. Stack them if that feels more comfortable. When you're ready, push the hips up, top arm up or onto your hip, push away from the floor. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a deep breath in. Again, focus again on your eye line, staying dead ahead. Try not to let your head tilt towards one of your shoulders. 3, 2, 1, push through the hips. Up towards the ceiling, push through the arms, squeeze into your glutes, squeeze into your abs, side of your body, arm up if you wish. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right, we do it a 3rd time on this basic static hold. 3, 2, 1, push through the feet, lift up, and again, top arm up if you feel comfortable, or hand onto the hip. Hold into that position. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We load and control back down. Not bad. Again, shake the arms out if you wish. Now we're going to add that rotation, okay? Reaching that arm, that top arm, so the right arm reaching underneath. Okay, if you need to go onto your knees for a variation, that's entirely up to you. We're going to do 5 repetitions, take a break, and we're going to do that 3 times, okay? So again, top leg in front of the bottom leg, elbow below the shoulder. Push up, lift high towards the ceiling, and then reach underneath. Reach the knuckles under, and back. You'll pause at the top, you'll pause at the bottom. Good, when you've done 5, rest down, take a little break. Again, the reason we don't want to do loads and loads and loads and loads of it, even if you feel comfortable doing it, if you do loads and loads in a row, is that you end up hanging into your hips and using your shoulder a bit too much, and that's not the idea. So we want to get these muscles working through these rotations. We're going to challenge them a little bit more when we create a side-to-side version very shortly. Okay, deep breath, arm up, lift the hips, and we continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, Again, rest, take a deep breath. If you're starting to feel into your abs, happy days. We are going to do one more set here. You should start to feel those core muscles working after everything that we've challenged through those ranges so far. Okay. Left elbow below the left shoulder. Top foot just in front of the bottom foot. Top arm up as we lift up, we hold, reach underneath. Three, 4, and 5. Good, nice work. Like before, just pop yourself up into an upright position and take a lean from side to side. Swing the arms if that feels comfortable, turn the body, whatever feels nice at this point. If anything, just get everything moving a little bit after being in that static position. Okay. So, the final challenge, the final 2 sets here, we're going to do 8 repetitions, so 4 to each side, of some side to side planks, okay? So that means we're going to be doing a static plank position where your forearms are going to be side to side now, okay? Feet a little bit wider than normal. From there, top arm comes up, we rotate, we pause, bring the arm back down, and we do the same to the other side, okay? If you need to be on your knees while you do that, that's absolutely fine, but again, make sure you can load into your abs, create that pelvic tilt. We're going to do 8 to each side, okay? Let's go. Pause for a second at the top, back down, over to the other side. Good, one more time. And relax. Again, drop back. Take a few deep breaths. Alright, we're going to do that one more time, okay? If you find on your mat that your elbows get a bit uncomfortable being here, you can always do this on your palms in more of a push-up position. It will be a bit more of a challenge, but it might be a little bit more comfortable. Again, choices are yours. One more time, 4 reps to each side. Feet wide, reach up as we rotate, pause, bring the arm back down, same to the other side. Good, 4 down, 4 to go. Reach the hand high, look for the arm, turn through the chest each time. 2 more. 1 more time. And ready. Good stuff. I think you did okay. Reach the arms in front, child pose stretch. Enjoy that position again. Okay, we're going to go into a set of 4-point kneeling exercise now, where we're going to try and challenge you through the things we worked on today about using the muscles in your back and your arms, as well as using your glutes and your abs, okay? So again, if you need a quick drink, do that now, before we go into this last sequence. Alright, so you're going to stay on your hands and knees. And all we're going to do is take one leg out behind us. Now, before we even get going with the leg movement, think about where your weight is centered as we do this. We want it to be about 60-40 legs to arms. What I don't want you to do is ever feel like this is uncomfortable for your wrists, uncomfortable for your shoulders or your neck, okay? Always try and keep a bit of weight, a bit more weight shifted back into your legs, okay? So from there, take one leg away, so the toe of the foot just about touching down, and then lift it 1 inch. It's never going to touch the ground again. We want to try and keep it lifted. Now, before we do anything, think about the abs, that pelvic tilt we worked on earlier. Squeeze into your glute. From there, bring the knee in and push it away. And that's all we're doing. Really slowly allowing that weight to shift forward and back with the leg moving. What I don't want you to do is get uncomfortable for your hands, okay? So again, if you need to shift more weight back into your leg, do it as you need to. I do not want to see this leg lifting up towards the ceiling. That's going to make sure that you arch into your back, and we want to limit that, okay? So we want to create a flat back position, create as much abdominal engagement as we can through this movement. Good. Now that movement shouldn't be too tough for you, so we're going to make it a bit of a challenge. We're going to take the opposite hand, so the right leg's extending and returning, is that the left hand is going to come onto its fingertips, okay? That's going to keep the weight between your right arm and left leg. This means you're squeezing under the right armpit, cross into the left glute, what we call a posterior sling. Keep engaging through the abs. If you're feeling really strong, you can actually take that hand and either hover it 1 inch above the floor or bring it across your chest, even feeling for your abs and rib cage to make sure you're in a good position if you wish. Again, make sure it's not uncomfortable for your arm. Keep that weight back into that left leg. One more time, you're going to straighten the leg and hold. Okay, now from here, we're going to keep that leg straight and lifted 1 inch off the floor. We're going to take it out wide and back. Just a few inches, maybe 12, 14, maybe 16 inches, depending on your range. If you're super flexible, you might be able to get all the way out here. But again, make sure whatever's happening that you're controlling it from your left glute, okay? Don't allow the leg just to swing out because you're flexible. Try and control the left glute position, make sure it doesn't move. You can do this with the hand away from the floor. You'll work even harder. If you need the fingertips for balance, that's absolutely fine. Both glutes working, right one to control that movement out, left one to stabilize you in that position. 3, 2, one more time, and relax. Good. Shake the arms out. We're nearly there. Same on the other side. And one final little exercise, and then you get to enjoy the rest of the sunshine, okay? So, good job. Onto your hands and knees. Shake the legs out a little bit. This time we'll go on to the opposite side. So the left leg that extends away. Again, foot touches the ground. Hold that position first. Right leg vertical, abs engaged. A little bit of weight shifted back into the legs. Don't let this be uncomfortable for your arms. When you're ready, bending in and pressing away. Good. Fingertips onto the right hand now. Start to keep the weight between the left hand and the left leg. Squeeze under that left armpit. Should begin to feel the abs and glutes on that right hand side working as well. If the fingertips isn't much of a challenge, again, you can hover the hand 1 inch above the floor. Bring the hand across your chest. Again, these are just options. If just keeping the hands down and working the leg is tough, then keep going. And you should always find it's the stabilizing leg, so in this case the right leg, that works hardest in this movement. It's there to make sure you don't fall over, it's your stabilizer. Keep the leg straight now, and this time we're going to bring the leg out wide and back. Try and keep it just 1 inch above the floor. Again, either hand down, fingertips, or hand across your chest, but maintain that ab squeeze. If you move the leg and then your body moves with it, no good. Keep stable, keep that ab engagement. Only move the leg as far as you can, without this hip having to change position, without your abs having to change position. Good, nearly there, last 20 seconds. You need to just reset yourself, that's absolutely fine. Two more. One more time. Good, and relax. Shake it out. Again, hips down to your heels. This time you're just going to sit back and just putting your hands under your feet as well. And just allow yourself to just lean back, sit back and take a little rock from side to side. Okay, we are nearly there. We're going to finish with one more exercise. We're going to give you a different leg drop variation, but I think I'm going to change my mind and we're going to do a 4-point kneeling hold, just because again I think we've been in that position. Hopefully you're getting more comfortable there. So we're going to think about getting our knees to lift off the ground. Okay, so we're going to do 3 sets of 20 seconds with a 5-second break in between. So hands below your shoulders, knees below your hips, curl your toes under. From there, push through your feet and lift your knees up. And when we lift the knees up, don't punch into your shoulders. Squeeze under your armpits as you do it. Keep breathing, try and control the position. Knees just an inch off the floor, we're not coming right up, just that little lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a deep breath. Three, 2, 1. We go again. Lift the knees up, shift the weight back into the feet a little bit. Don't make this uncomfortable for the arms. Think about your pelvic tilt. Think about squeezing between your shoulder blades. Everything we've worked on today can be challenged in this position. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Take a deep breath. One more time. One more set of 20 seconds before the day is yours. 3, 2, and 1. Shift the weight back. Lift the knees up. Squeeze and hold. Keep breathing, keep engaging through the abs, shoulders away from the ears. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely work. Just shift your weight forwards and back in that 4-point kneeling position. And stand yourself up. A little hip swing, make sure you've just got a bit of stretch into your hips after being on your all fours. Take 10 swings forward and back. Again, just one hand on the wall for balance. Keep your body still, squeeze into your abs. Good, big circles for the arms, forwards and back. Maybe across the body, opening and closing, turning the wrists and shoulders. And shake it out. Guys, great job today, hope you had fun. Again, as always, please leave me any comments, any updates, anything you'd like to let me know. Things you might want to do in the next class, anything you particularly found easy or difficult. Again, the feedback enables me to make these classes even better in the future. Obviously it's tough because I don't get to see you, so again, your feedback's really helpful. Next week we have the same routine in terms of times and the schedule that we had this week. So Tuesday and Thursday is going to be 9 o'clock for Pilates, and Wednesday is going to be 12 o'clock for a resistance band class. So I look forward to seeing you in the class, and obviously if you have any questions or anything, I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day, enjoy the sunshine for sure, and enjoy your Easter weekend.